here we go. The definition, okay, of a circle. It is the set. Oh, sorry. I am recording. Yes, thank you. All right. Circle is the set of all points equidistant from the center. Here's what this means. Here's the center of the circle, right? X is your center. The circle itself, we'll call it blue here, right? This is all the points that are the same distance away from the center. So in other words, this distance is the same as this distance, is the same as this, is the same as that, is the same as that. They're all the same distance away. That's what makes it a circle. Do you know what that line is called?
No. Circumference.
Not circumference.
Diameter.
Not diameter, the other one. Actually, I'm going to erase all this.
Wait, just the red line?
The little red line. The one that goes halfway across. So this one.
Radius.
That's a radius, okay? So here's the deal. When you name a circle, you name it by its center. So we would call this circle X. You do a circle with a dot inside, otherwise it looks like OX, right? So circle X is a circle with a dot inside to represent circle, and then the letter that is the center. Okay, so Isaiah just said XB, the red line, is a radius. Can you tell me what AC is, the green line? That's the diameter. And people are always getting those confused, which one's a radius and which one's a diameter. Do you remember what I told you earlier in the year?
Probably not.
It was a long time ago. Radius is a shorter word, and it's the shorter segment. Diameter is the longer word. It's the longer segment. Okay, so that will just help you keep them straight. Okay, then we have angle AXB. AXB goes from A through X to B, right? This right here is angle AXB. We call that a central angle. If it uses the center of the circle as its vertex, it's called a central angle. Okay, so we're going to take all that information and we're going to start looking at, instead of the segments, we're going to look at the arcs. So the curved parts of the circle. The first one is called arc TRS. Notice the little arc over top. That's how you know we're going with an arc and not a segment or an angle. So if I start at T, I go through R and around to S. Okay, that blue is what we're talking about. Does anyone think they can name what that is called?
No.
How much of the circle is it?
Half.
It's half of the circle. What's another name for half a circle? Starts with an S. It's a semicircle.
Oh.
Okay. So TRS is a semicircle. Any guesses how many degrees that is?
180.
180 degrees. A semicircle will always be 180. Okay, it's half of a circle. A circle is always 360. So half of that is 180. All right, now look at the next one. This one only gives you 2 letters, RS. Whenever it's just 2 letters, it's the shortest route to the other letter. So from R, the shortest route to get to S would be here. Okay, so when it's 2 letters, it's going to be smaller than a semicircle. It would be a quarter if that was 90. They don't tell us the measure of that. I think that's probably like 100.
More than 90.
Yeah, it's more than 90. But we call it a minor arc because it's less than a semicircle. So a minor arc is going to be less than 180 degrees. Okay. I bet you can tell me what we're going to call this then. So from R, through T, so many whispers today. It's rude. You're hurting my feelings.
Well, I just didn't want to be rude and talk over you.
That was rude.
I'm sorry.
Talking through me with a whisper is still talking over me.
I'm sorry.
RTS, okay? If this one's a minor arc and it's the shorter distance, this one's the longer distance, more than a semicircle. Any guesses what we call it?
A large arc.
A major.
A major arc.
Major?
I'm like Major Brown. Like Major Brown.
Douche.
Spelled like Major Brown, yes. Excuse me. Knock it off. So this arc would be 360 minus the measure of the smaller arc, the minor arc. Okay, so if we just take this away, right, that would be the measure of the green. 360 minus that amount.
And that's on his glove.
What did
Okay.
you just say?
It's on his glove.
Really? You're a douchebag on his glove.
It's got these
Maybe because it was his dad's Whiteboard or something.
Oh, yeah, his dad's name is.
Look, it has lots of.
All right, number one.
Ah.
We're gonna name all these different types of arcs. So just remind me, what is a minor arc?
It's
less
a half
than,
arc.
It's less than 180.
It's less than 180. Okay, so in this picture, tell me a minor arc.
AB.
AB would be a minor arc, right? This would be AB. So you write AB with the little arc over top.
Wait, would BE be one?
BE would also be one. Do you see more?
AD.
AD would be one,
Uh,
and DE would be one.
Do we have to do all of them?
For right now, we're gonna do, we're actually not even right now. In the homework, it'll tell you what to name. Okay, so that's the minor arcs. The major arcs, now this one, I'm gonna narrow it down because there's a lot of major arcs. We just want major arcs that have point B in them.
What if
Okay.
it was like AB, but it went all the way around? Like it was like. A-
You have to put a third letter in. So you'd have to say like ADB, right? Okay, so major arcs that contain B. So let's start at B. If I go B and I go to the left, it would be what?
A, B, A,
BA,
D.
BAD would be a semicircle.
B-A-D-E.
Wait.
BAE, right? Ditch the D. We don't have to go
Oh,
through the
we're
D.
doing major. I thought we were doing minor
Yeah,
arcs.
major. BAE,
Bay.
Bay, would be a major arc. What if I start at B and I go the other direction? Go this way.
B.
BEA.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's make B part of the arc, but not the start or finish. So let's start at D.
DBA.
DBA would be this one, right? DBA. What if we go the other way?
TBH.
DBE. Right? And I think that's it for the ones that have B as part of it. Questions on that? Okay, I'm going to erase all this. The last thing they ask you for is the semicircles. Stop.
He's weird.
Goodness. Okay, now here's the deal. When you name a semicircle, you have to use 3 letters, but why?
Because B and D are like straight in the middle.
What?
B and D are like right in the middle of the circle, so like you have to go through it to get to a semicircle. Or no, there's 2 middle ones. A and E are right.
Right. So if you said BD, I don't know which semicircle you're talking about. Are you talking about the one on the left or the one on the right? So what you have to do is go BED, right? Would be this one.
Bed.
BED. What would be the other one with that same diameter? BAD.
Bad.
Mm-hmm. Spelling all kinds of words.
Bad.
There's 2 more. Do you see the other 2?
Bad.
Yeah, oh,
So we used BD. Now use AE as your diameter. ABE.
Abe, as in Abraham Montenegro.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And ADE.
He's your neighbor,
He
Luke.
lives like 3,000 down.
Okay?
I think I haven't seen him at school.
Okay, so that's the arcs. Questions on any of those? Okay, then let's take a look at this. P is the center of our circle. You have is this a radius or diameter?
Radius.
That's a radius and a radius, okay? And this angle is 95 degrees. Here's the deal. Any central angle, which is what this is, 95, will be the same measure as its arc. So the measure of arc AB is how many degrees? 95. Okay, so a central angle equals its arc. And if I take like the measure of arc AB and I add to it the measure of arc BC, okay, so I have AB plus BC, I get the measure of arc ABC, that whole thing together. That's just, we kind of did that with segment addition postulate back in chapter 1, and we did it with angle addition postulate back in chapter 1. This is the arc addition postulate. If you take two parts and you add them together, you get the whole thing. Okay. Oh, this is unfortunate that we have two people missing.
Series of unfortunate. Where's Forrest at? He's in Maui.
All right, so here's what you need to do on this one. If you're changing colors, write this in black so that it looks like it started as part of this problem, because normally I would give you this, but I didn't fill this in. This should be 60 degrees. This should be 20 degrees. Okay, so that's the given information in this problem. This is what you're starting with. If I ask you, part A, for arc TR, the measure of arc TR, how many degrees is this arc? Turn it off.
60?
60, right? The central angle equals its arc. Do I need to lock your screen right now?
No.
So this is 60 degrees.
He's trying to break it up.
Okay, how about this? If I want to know the measure,
I think he's gonna shoot us.
Please don't break it on my silver.
why is that something that sounds like a good idea to say?
It's not a good idea. That's why I said please don't. He's just pacing in the parking lot. It's kind of
He's
creepy.
skipping.
It is kind of weird. You guys been like rocking
Look,
back
see,
and
he's
forth.
just skipping.
Do you need me to close the blinds? We can close the blinds.
Why are the buses the worst thing we
All right, look at this. TRS.
Like 30 of them. We got like 30 of them.
Arc TRS starts here through R around to S. How many degrees is that red arc?
This is how I feel right now.
180.
It's 180. Here's the deal. This is a diameter, right? It goes through the center. When you have a diameter and you find the whole arc from that, 180 degrees. Okay, so arc TRS is 180. Okay, third one. What's the measure of arc UTR? So starting at U, going through T, around to R. So this purple arc is what?
80.
Is 80. If the central angle here is 20, then this one's 20 also. So you're just adding those two pieces together. So 60 and 20 would be 80 degrees. Okay, last one here. The measure of arc RS. So think about where RS is. You start at R. When it's only 2 letters, what direction do you go?
180 minus 60. No. Wait.
Yes. You go the shorter distance, right? So I'm looking for this arc. Well, if I know this big one
180
was 180 and this piece of it is 60, then I go 180 minus 60, and that's 120 degrees. That make sense?
I've got my life.